When I was younger, beauty was fascinating to me. If I saw a beautiful woman with her hair done, with her nails done, I had so many questions. I would be like, how did your fingers get like that? Your hair is so big and pretty. It looked different last week. So I was always enamored with beauty. Hi, I'm Monae Everett. I'm a celebrity hairstylist, author, and educator, raised in the DMV, but now I'm back in New York. I got involved in the beauty game really very young. I was very opinionated about how people looked. And in my teenage years, I started paying attention to award shows and celebrities and things like that. And I had opinions that I would tell people, but we didn't have all of the red carpet coverage and things of that nature. So people would say, if you can't do better, you shouldn't say anything. And I was like, I just feel like with a little bit of training, I will be able to do better. So I started cosmetology my senior year in high school and completed it my freshman year in college. When I told my family that I wanted to be a hairstylist, it was not well received, but I've learned how much beauty means to people, not just women, to look your best, to feel your best. Appearance is even more important than just how you feel, but it can really set the tone for how you're treated. I should have been able to take cosmetology my sophomore year in high school, 10th grade, but I kept being denied. So my senior year in high school, all of a sudden, I was being offered cosmetology. And I asked, well, I've been asking for years to get in a cosmetology program. Why didn't you allow me? And I learned that my grandmother had other goals for me, and she felt I was too smart to take cosmetology and that the world had other things in mind for me. I know that my family wanted the best for me, and they just didn't understand that the beauty industry is vast and there are so many different things that you can do. Being a hairstylist was my starting point. And I say this to all people in the beauty industry. There's so many things that you can do, but just start with that craft and build upon it. I remember when I was assisting and working part-time in a salon, I remember exactly where I was standing when the woman I was assisting said, you know, Monae, you're meant to do more than this. You're meant to be working outside of the salon. Have you considered being a celebrity hairstylist? I never heard of it. I had no comprehension of what she meant. I really thought when I saw a celebrity on a magazine cover that they went and they got their hair done at the salon the night before and they put on their lipstick the next day and they took the picture. I had no idea it was an entire industry. So from that moment, I became so obsessed with learning more and more about being a celebrity hairstylist that became my focus. When I was in high school, I always dreamed about moving to New York. I didn't have any particular reason why. I just knew I was born there and I felt I should be in New York. Once I got to New York, I had planted a lot of seeds for me coming to New York, but I had not planted seeds for me to be a sustainable artist in New York, and I did not understand that there was a difference. So when I first moved to New York, those first few months kind of seemed like a joke. Many times I was the only Black person on set. Then I started paying more attention to discrimination and microaggressions. When I lived in Northern Virginia, I never noticed these microaggressions. When I moved to New York, they were not so micro. I remember getting a phone call at about 7 p.m. on Thursday. They asked me to come in the following day to do a photo shoot for a major magazine. I could barely sleep. I was so excited I was going to go to this magazine. I get there, and when I get there, the security guard tells me the person you're coming to see is standing next to you. Like, I wouldn't know that. I've never met them. So we're going up the escalator. I said, oh my God, I'm so happy to be doing this shoot. Thank you so much for, and they cut me off and said, oh yeah, you're shooting with the Black girl today? Yeah, we couldn't find anybody else to do the shoot. I don't know what to do with this. I've never been spoken to like this. So in my mind, I say, let me just do an amazing job and I'll win them over. So at the end of the day, they went on and on about how great the photo shoot went. So I got my nerve up and I walked up to this booking editor at a major magazine that's still in business. And I said, how did everything go? He said, great. I said, did you like the hair and makeup? He said, it was great. I said, okay, I wanted to come and give you my card so that moving forward, if you have another shoot, you can, he was like, yeah, if I shoot another Black girl. And then I realized that the stories I had been told were not one-offs, that this is really the way this level of the industry is. And I definitely don't think that he is the same as every booking editor. I think he lacked decorum and didn't understand to keep the internal voice inside, and that he said what a lot of people felt. I had all of these jobs the first 3 months, but when they stopped, I mean, hard stop. Nobody was calling me anymore. So I went a few months not making any money at all. My father became terminally ill, and I had no money in the bank to help with any of the arrangements. All I had was thoughts and prayers. And that almost broke me. I never imagined being in a place where I can't help to bury my father. My family didn't make it a huge deal, but I had nothing to offer. And so why did I move to New York if I'm not able to support myself? You can't have all of this ego and pride and not be able to take care of yourself. So I said, I can't go back with my tail tucked between my legs. I have to find a way to make this work. I was calling everybody I knew to get work for them to give me advice and mentorship, and nothing was working. And I said, God, I promise, if you help me figure this out, I will help other people figure this out. And he said, oh, say less, got you. And within a couple of weeks, I just started getting calls all the time from people that I didn't even know were celebrities, had been watching me and requesting me, from celebrities I never dreamed about working with, from brands who wanted me to work to represent their brand or do photo shoots for them or content shoots. And things were going really well for a few years.
So I have to come up with really interesting styles.
The hair works better if it has...
Okay, so let's turn it on. Let's see what we are.
Every now and again, God was like, hey, remember you said you would help other people? I was like, yeah, I do classes here and there. He said, yeah, but I think you should write a book. Well, God, I'm way too busy for that. But he was like, Monae, the deal was you will help other people and you will write a book. Once again, God, I'm too busy. He said, oh, okay. So I'm going to completely stop the world and give you time to write this book. I said, God, look, people are sick and all, but they said we would only be shut down for a couple of weeks when COVID hit. God said you will have time. And we were shut down in New York for almost 2 solid years. Other states were able to come and go more than New York was. So that gave me more than enough time to really write my book, Get Out of Your Own Way, as well as really push my academy, the Monae Life Academy, and help other hairstylists, makeup artists, and wardrobe stylists get the clientele of their dreams. The blessing about being in a creative career is sometimes you have wins that you never saw coming. So I have had opportunities that I thought were absolutely amazing. But when I got called to style Angie Martinez for Barack Obama's inauguration, and in the same weekend, MC Light, you couldn't tell me nothing. I just knew I had made it because my maternal grandmother, who passed away, was actually a huge fan of MC Light. And, you know, I went to school to study radio, so I had studied Angie Martinez for so many years, and I was so starstruck to meet her, and she was so happy and welcoming and loved her look. And we all were there to celebrate the inauguration of Barack Obama, the first Black president, something I could never dream of happening. And I think that that's when I was able to start showing people, like, you know, I do something and it matters and other people care, and I get the ability to be a part of major events. I now understand that I can have a larger voice. Being behind the chair is amazing, but I really feel that I can make a larger impact speaking. Some of the issues that hairstylists ask me about are resilience, like how do you deal in such a tough world? Be so good at your craft that you know that what they are asking for is not possible. Do not get caught in a situation where you're telling someone what they want is not possible, and it is very possible. The higher level, the professional you work with, the more likely they are to understand your skill and what can and cannot be done. I say at this level, you are expected to be an amazing hairstylist or makeup artist. We should not even be talking about your skill. So what comes next are your soft skills. Are you able to listen and properly respond? Are you able to speak with professionalism? Are you able to be polite? Are you able to keep your word? What can you do that is over and above being a hairstylist or a makeup artist?